Welcome, tennis fans, to another massive, breaking deep dive right here on the channel. Today, we are staring down the barrel of one of the most highly anticipated, electric, and historically significant first-round matchups of the 2026 Wimbledon Championships. We are talking about the surging Filipina phenom, Alex Eala, squaring off against a relentless, battle-tested Mexican trailblazer, Renata Zarazua. And you need to be paying very close attention, because this match is happening right now, streaming live, and you need to watch it free before those unofficial streams are taken down. The buzz surrounding this encounter at the All England Club is absolutely deafening, and for very good reason. Let us set the stage for you. We have Alex Eala, who is not just participating in Wimbledon this year. She is arriving as the number 29 seed. Let that sink in for a moment. This is a monumental, glass-ceiling-shattering achievement for Philippine tennis and for Eala herself. She is entering the pristine lawns of SW19, riding the crest of an absolute tidal wave of momentum. If you've been following the grass court swing this season, you know exactly what I am talking about. Eala has been tearing it up, recently capturing the WTA 125 title at the Birmingham Open and backing it up with a spectacular run to the semifinals at the prestigious WTA 500 Berlin Tennis Open. She has found her footing on the slickest, most unforgiving surface in the sport, transforming her game into a lethal grass court weapon. But standing across the net is a woman who knows exactly how to get under Eala's skin. Renata Zarazúa, the proud flag bearer from Mexican tennis, is a veteran who thrives on disruption, grit, and incredible tactical intelligence. At world number 76, Zarazua is unseeded. But do not let that number fool you. She has a proven track record of breaking down aggressive players. And more importantly, she has a psychological edge. Zarazua holds a historical advantage in this head-to-head matchup, having bested Eala on hard courts and clay courts in their previous encounters. This is the classic clash of styles. The blistering, youthful, aggressive firepower of Eala versus the seasoned, crafty, defensive mastery of Zarazua. The stakes could not be higher. Eala is fighting to validate her newfound seeded status on the world's grandest stage, while Zarazua is looking to pull off a massive upset and remind everyone why she's one of the most dangerous unseeded floaters in the draw. Grab your strawberries and cream, folks, because we are about to dive deep into every single facet of this phenomenal matchup. To truly understand the gravity of this match, we have to talk about the evolution of Alex Eala in 2026. This has been a year where potential finally transformed into undeniable week-in and week-out elite performance. The 21-year-old product of the Rafa Nadal Academy has always possessed the raw talent, the booming forehand, the pinpoint backhand down the line, and the fierce competitive spirit. But this year, we have seen a maturation in her game that has sent shockwaves through the WTA Tour. Let's rewind a bit and look at her entire season, because it provides exact context for why she is so dangerous right now. Eala started the year incredibly strong during the Middle East swing, securing impressive quarterfinal appearances at both the Abu Dhabi Open and the Dubai Tennis Championships. She proved she could hang with the heavy hitters on the hard courts. The clay season was a bit more grueling, testing her patience and physicality, but she still managed solid runs, including a round of 32 appearance in Stuttgart in the Italian Open. But the true revelation, the absolute turning point, has been the grass. Grass court tennis is a completely different beast. It requires quick reflexes, short backswings, exceptional footwork, and a willingness to stay low to the ground. Many young players struggle to adapt to the unpredictable bounces and the skidding nature of the ball. But Eala, she has embraced it like she was born on the lawns of Wimbledon. Winning the Birmingham Open was a massive statement. It was her second WTA 125 title, but doing it on grass showed a newfound versatility. She served beautifully, utilizing the slice serve out wide to open up the court, and she hit her flat ground strokes with such precision that her opponents were constantly left scrambling. Then she marched into Berlin, a WTA 500 event packed with top-tier talent, and fought her way to the semifinals. She is arriving at the All England Club not just with hope, but with the empirical proof that she is one of the best grass court players in the world right now. And let's not forget the emotional and psychological weight she carries. Alex Eala is not just playing for herself. She is playing for millions of passionate fans in the Philippines. She is single-handedly putting her nation on the global tennis map in a way we haven't seen in decades. Being the number 29 seed at a Grand Slam means she avoids the top players in the opening rounds, but also paints a massive target on her back. The expectations are astronomical. The pressure is suffocating. But time and time again, Eala has shown that she has ice in her veins. She thrives under the spotlight. Now, let's flip the coin and look at the woman tasked with stopping this runaway train, Renata Zarazúa. The 28-year-old Mexican is a warrior in every sense of the word. While she may not possess the overpowering, awe-inspiring baseline weaponry of Eala, Zarazúa brings a completely different, often maddening, skill set to the court. She is the ultimate puzzle that opponents have to solve. Zarazúa's game is built on relentless consistency, phenomenal court coverage, and a high tennis IQ. She is not going to blow you off the court with a 115-mile-per-hour serve, nor is she going to routinely hit clean winners from 5 feet behind the baseline. Instead, she is going to make you play one more ball. She is going to hit heavy, looping topspin to push you back. And just when you think you have rhythm, she will throw in a knifing backhand slice that barely clears the net and dies on the grass. Zarazúa forces her opponents into uncomfortable positions. She forces them to go for low percentage shots, ultimately extracting unforced errors. For Zarazúa, being ranked 76 in the world and stepping onto the court against a seeded player is a position she relishes. She has the experience. She has played on the biggest courts at Roland Garros and the U.S. Open, and she knows how to manage the nerves of a Grand Slam first round. Furthermore, she knows how to beat Alex Eala. And in tennis, mental scars can linger. Let's dive into the head-to-head history, because this is where the plot thickens considerably. If you look at the raw data, Renata Zarazúa has had Alex Eala's number. Their most notable recent encounters tell a story of Zarazúa's tactical superiority in crucial moments. We look back at the 2024 Cary Tennis Classic in the United States on the ITF circuit. It was the quarterfinals. Eala came out firing, taking the first set comfortably 6-3. She looked unstoppable. But Zarazúa, displaying her trademark resilience, dug her heels in, adjusted her court position, and slowly dismantled Eala's aggressive baseline game, taking the next 2 sets 6-4, 6-3. Zarazúa absorbed the pace, redirected the ball, and forced Eala to over it. Then, we fast forward to a much bigger stage, the 2025 French Open, just last year. First round of Grand Slam, Eala versus Zarazúa on the red clay of Paris. Clay naturally favors Zarazúa's heavy topspin and sliding defensive capabilities, and she proved it, dispatching Eala in straight sets, 7-5, 6-4. It was a tight, grueling match, but when the pressure mounted late in both sets, Zarazúa was a steadier player. Eala's unforced error count crept up, and Zarazúa capitalized with clinical precision. So, the psychological dynamic heading into this 2026 Wimbledon clash is incredibly complex. Eala is the much higher-ranked player. Eala is the seeded player. Eala is the player with the red-hot recent form on grass. But Zarazúa is the player who can look across the net and say, I know how to break your game down. I've done it before, and I've done it at a Grand Slam. Eala will be battling not just Zarazúa, but the ghosts of those past defeats. She has to prove to herself that she has evolved beyond the player who lost in Paris last year. This brings us to the tactical breakdown of this specific match on this specific surface. How does this play out on the slick, low-bouncing lawns of Wimbledon? This is the crucial variable that flips the script from their previous encounters. Grass is the great equalizer, but also heavily rewards certain styles of play. First, the serve. On clay or slow hard courts, a mediocre serve can be masked by great baseline rallying. On grass, a great serve is an absolute necessity. Eala has spent the last year retooling her service motion, adding a few miles per hour, but more importantly, increasing her placement accuracy. The slice serve down the tee on the deuce court and the kick serve out wide on the ad court are going to be paramount. If Eala can earn free points on her first serve and avoid lengthy, lung-busting rallies, she takes away Zarazúa's biggest advantage. Zarazúa's serve, conversely, is attackable. It sits up a bit more, and Eala, who is a phenomenal returner with exceptional hand-eye coordination, will be looking to step inside the baseline and take Zarazúa's second serve early. Second, the height of the bounce. This is terrible news for Zarazua. Her primary weapon in the 2025 French Open victory was her heavy topspin, kicking the ball up above Eala's shoulder level, taking the Filipina out of her strike zone. Grass does not allow for that. The ball skids. It stays low. Eala's flat, penetrating ground strokes, especially her devastating two-handed backhand, are tailor-made for grass. She hits through the court, not up on the ball. When Eala flattens out her shots, they will shoot through the Wimbledon turf like a laser beam, rushing Zarazua and taking away her time to set up her defensive replies. However, Zarazua has a secret weapon for grass, the backhand slice. If Zarazua finds herself pushed back, she will utilize the slice to keep the ball impossibly low, forcing Eala to bend her knees constantly and generate her own pace from ankle height. Hitting aggressively off a low slice on grass is one of the hardest things to do in tennis, and frequently leads to errors into the net. Eala must be patient. She cannot afford to pull the trigger too early on a low bouncing ball. She has to construct the point, use angles to pull Zarazua wide, and then look for the short ball to attack. Net play will also be a massive factor. Eala has been playing doubles extensively. In fact, she has entered in the Wimbledon doubles draw this year alongside Nikola Bardunkova. This doubles experience has sharpened her volleys and her comfort level in the forecourt. If Eala can use her powerful ground strokes to push Zarazua deep into the corners, she must be brave enough to move forward and finish the points at the net with crisp volleys or swinging drive volleys. Taking the ball out of the air denies Zarazua the chance to use her incredible foot speed to run down extra balls. We also have to look at the broader context of what this match means for the tournament and the draw. As a number 29 seed, Eala has a protected path in the early rounds. Assuming she can overcome this massive mental hurdle against Zarazua, the draw opens up beautifully for her. She avoids the top 8 giants, the Swiateks, the Sabalenkas, the Goffs, until at least a third or fourth round. A deep run at Wimbledon is entirely within her grasp, which would send her ranking skyrocketing and cement her status as a permanent fixture in the elite echelon of women's tennis. But this is exactly why the first round of Grand Slam is so notoriously dangerous. It is the graveyard of seeded players. The pressure of expectation is at its absolute peak. The courts at Wimbledon on the first few days are green, lush, and extremely slippery. The bounce is unpredictable before the baseline, gets worn down to dirt by the second week. It is a breeding ground for upsets. Eala is not just battling Zarazua. She is battling the magnitude of the occasion. She is stepping onto the hallowed grounds of the All-England Club, knowing that her entire country is waking up in the middle of the night to stream this match live. And speaking of streaming, let's talk about the viewing experience for a moment. This match is a prime example of the modern digital sports era. Millions of fans in the Philippines, Mexico, and around the globe are frantically searching for ways to watch this clash. It is billed as a watch-free before it's taken down event because the broadcast rights for Wimbledon are fiercely guarded. Fans are tuning into unofficial live streams, refreshing their browsers, and hanging on to every single point. The digital atmosphere surrounding this match is electric. It highlights the massive global appeal of both players. Eala has a rabid, incredibly supportive fanbase online that tracks her every movement, while Zarazua carries a passionate support of Latin American tennis fans. When these two collide, the internet takes notice. If Eala wants to walk away with a victory today, she must dictate the terms of engagement from the very first ball. She cannot allow Zarazua to drag her into long, looping, attritional rallies. Eala must step inside the baseline, take the ball on the rise, and use her superior firepower to hit through the Mexican defender. She needs to serve smartly, utilizing the body serve to jam Zarazua and prevent her from getting full extension on her returns. Most importantly, Eala must remain emotionally stable. If she misses a few aggressive shots early, or if Zarazua pulls off a few miraculous passing shots, Eala cannot afford to drop her head. She must trust the aggressive game plan that won her the Birmingham title. For Zarazua, the blueprint is the exact opposite. She needs to make this match as ugly, physical, and frustrating as possible. She needs to vary the pace, height, and depth of her shots relentlessly. Throw in high, loopy balls. Throw in short slices. Bring Eala forward to the net on awkward terms. Zarazua wins this match by making Eala beat herself. If Zarazua can frustrate the young Filipina, induce a high number of unforced errors, and turn the match into a grind, she has a massive opportunity to spring the upset and ruin the fairy tale. This is the beauty of tennis. Two completely contrasting philosophies, two different generations, two wildly different career trajectories, colliding on a 78 by 27-foot rectangle of meticulously manicured British grass. It is a chess match played at 100 miles an hour. Eala represents the future, the aggressive, athletic, powerful baseline game that is dominating the tour. Zarazua represents the enduring value of grit, tactical nuance, and defensive mastery. As they take the court, the atmosphere will be tense. The quiet hum of the Wimbledon crowd, the distinct, crisp sound of the ball striking the strings on a grass court, the polite applause following a brilliant winner. Eala will likely step out looking focused, perhaps a bit nervous, wearing the crisp all-white attire mandated by the club, representing the culmination of years of sacrifice at the Nadal Academy. Zarazua will be loose, determined, and ready for a war of attrition. I predict that the first set is going to be incredibly tight. Eala will come out firing, looking to establish dominance early, but she may be prone to a few early nerves and unforced errors as she adjusts to the grass and the occasion. Zarazua will absolutely capitalize on any dip in Eala's concentration. However, if Eala can settle into a rhythm and find her range on her ground strokes, the low bounce of the grass should eventually tip the scales heavily in her favor. Eala's power on this surface is simply too overwhelming if she is striking the ball cleanly. This is why this first-round matchup is absolute must-watch television, or in this case, must-watch live streaming. It is all the elements of a classic: the rising star of the weight of a nation on her back, the wily veteran with a psychological edge, the contrasting play styles, and the unforgiving, unpredictable nature of grass-court tennis. This is not just a tennis match. It is a narrative unfolding in real time. In conclusion, as we wrap up this extensive deep dive, the storylines are clear. Can Alex Eala conquer her past demons, validate her number 29 seeding, and translate her spectacular warm-up form onto the game's biggest stage? Or will Renata Zarazúa, the ultimate tactician, pull off another stunning upset, frustrating the young star and sending her packing in the first round? You do not want to miss a single second of this action. The live streams are up right now, but they will not last forever. Get to your screens, find the feed, and watch this history unfold before it gets taken down. I want to hear from all of you in the comments section below. Who do you have winning this massive encounter? Does Eala overpower her, or does Zarazua outsmart her? Drop your predictions. Let's get the debate going. If you enjoyed this comprehensive breakdown, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our breaking tennis coverage, deep dives, and live match analysis. We are your home for everything tennis. Enjoy the match, everyone. It is going to be an absolute thriller, and we will see you on the other side for the post-match breakdown.